Guys.
I watched Digging Up the Marrow, and man oh man was that an exciting time. A new place with new monsters? A new universe full of creepy crawlies? I'm in. Now I didn't realize this was a mockumentary when people told me about it, but it's kind of like a love letter to the monster genre of horror. Adam Green is specifically a director who specializes in that part of the genre, which I am loving. Candyman? I don't know why this guy reminds me of the male version of the Thing from Splice. Okay, maybe that's a bit much. So Adam Green, who sounds like Jason Alexander, gets fan mail from one of their fans, this guy who draws monsters and claims that he's actually seen them. The guy's name is William Decker, and Adam Green decides, you know what, I've always wanted monsters to be real, so let me give this a chance. Let me actually go to this guy and see if there's something to be said about these monsters being real. Hey, you never know. I don't know, like, I know they're acting, but the poor man... So Adam's expressions throughout the entire interview, every time he's with this guy, it's like he's trying his hardest not to laugh, and it cracked me up the entire time. Like, the interaction that he has with William Decker is just freaking A1 comedy, man. He was like just, oh my god, he was so good.
Actually, I think it would be better if we didn't have the music while we're actually recording the interview, because the music makes it hard to edit with.
It's my favorite tune.
Who is this?
I don't know.
Just watch this part, like, seriously, like, God. Yo, I was cracking up. I don't know why this part was so funny to me, but just, like, the dead silence between them, this guy's basically saying, okay, listen, we can't edit properly if you have music in the background. I mean, we can, but it just makes it a little bit harder. But I guess, sorry, but I guess Decker's trying to use it to relax a little bit, and Adam doesn't want this. He wants to make this guy comfortable. He doesn't want this guy to flake on him, so of course he obliges. Then someone tells you, hey, this is my favorite tune, and someone asks you, who is it? And you're like, I don't know. Like, really? How is it your favorite? You don't know who it's by. Like, that's weird. So then, sorry. Okay. So then, give me a second. Okay, all right, hold on. We're getting there. I need to hold on a second. So then Alex asks him, like, okay, is this just the only place that these monsters have been? And the guy's like, no, there's several. There's some, you know, by woods, cemeteries, and one of the IHOPs. So of course Alex is like, IHOP? And the guy's like, oh, just sweet Lord, just the reaction and the dead air that hangs. I had to pause. It was so freaking... It was the most hilarious part of the entire movie.
Why would they have a Marrow entrance where there's an IHOP?
They like pancakes.
Pancakes?
Everybody loves pancakes.
Pancakes. Of course.
Anyway, yeah.
Oh my god! I'm sorry. I don't know why that was so freaking funny. Yo, it's just the way the other guy's like dead serious that it just makes it worse. It's like, yo, he's dead serious. Oh god, okay. Woo! Damn. Anyway, this guy starts talking about the monsters, which is very intriguing to see each. By the way, the monsters here are not your typical, like, supernatural monsters. They're actually real people. Real human beings that were born with deformities. The guy did, in the beginning of his interview, start showing a whole bunch of kids that were, well, born with issues. He says you never see them grow up. You just see that they disappear, and they're like, where do they all go? I think, personally, the parents killed them. And I can't entirely blame them, because, honestly, that would be like the kindest thing you could do, because a lot of these kids would just grow up with suffering and pain and being alone and being gawked at. Like, honestly, I would want my parent to kill me if something like that ever happened to me. I honestly, if I had the cognitive function to do so, would hate them more so for letting me live than for putting me out of my misery. So it's really interesting is how he talks about this specific person, this specific malformed person named Brella, the umbrella person. And it's kind of creepy because you find out that this one might be dangerous. Like, they didn't know before, but now there's that information that has been given to Adam Green and his crew that some of these monsters are actually dangerous. There was a time when William Decker mentioned his son drew the art, and then he just kept changing the subject when Adam tried to question him about it. There's also a locked door in his house that he won't let anybody talk about or go near. Later, some other directors tell Adam Green that this guy he's working with actually came to them first, and that guy's nuts. Everybody is thinking they're nuts. And apparently nobody sees this thing come out of the hole and start walking away. It's just so stupid. Like, this is a wide angle shot right there. You never registered that? I mean, they've seen by this time, they believe Decker, or, well, they did until the people were saying he was crazy. But there's clearly people who live in that hole. Whether they're Decker's friends or not, no one knows. Oh, but they quickly find out soon enough.
Around it, drive around it. What the hell?
But what human mutation gives someone freaking alien flaps that eject, like, from out of their back? Just very strange. Like, whatever kind of mutation that is, that's not even a malformity. That's some next level shit right there. That wasn't a baby that came out of that person. That's a straight up alien. Those are not people. I'm sorry. Those are shit, you know? Somebody had a little bit too much Benadryl. Or Percocet, or whatever makes people really freaking tired so that their body doesn't work properly. I'm thinking we're on some X-Men level stuff going on here because, you know, this is just on a whole other level. Now the guy's mad because they're gonna get up and move. Those monsters are gonna close the entrance, and then somebody's gonna get taken away. I mean, if you haven't guessed from watching the movie, this son of his, I think his son is one of those things down there. He was also seen on the camera feeding something inside of the hole. What was he feeding? No one knows, because William Decker here turned off some of the cameras that were angled towards the hole where they could have gotten a proper shot of whatever it was he was feeding. Decker tricks them, and the next morning they go to find him. Apparently, well, no one ever knew that he lived here, and the door that had all the chains on it are unlocked. When they go in there, there's human shit or whatever kind of poop that is. I'm pretty sure that's Play-Doh, but still, there were strong chains that means he was holding something very large in that room. Probably his son. But then, if he was holding his son in that room, well then, what was he feeding in the hole? Did he release his son at night so his son could play with his friends? They go back and the hole is covered up. Next time we see Adam Green, he looks like he had a really bad night. Turns out that the camera that had gone missing, oh yes, one of their cameras they had set up, camera 2, had gone missing. And I already knew that one of these things took it. Well, it was, how do you say, delivered to him. Turns out one of the monsters that were underneath the earth took it. They have William Decker. That's why William Decker hasn't answered any of their calls. And they have him record that monsters aren't real. Yeah, like that's real convincing. I think these monsters know exactly what they're doing, and they want him to record this, not because they think that anyone's actually going to believe them, because clearly a monster is holding the camera, and clearly they have someone in the cage that is of interest. But I think because he delivered it to Adam Green, this monster wants Adam Green to know monsters aren't real, right? You're gonna stop following us and looking for us, right? And at this point, it's kind of sad because you don't know what happens to Decker. Who knows? The person who's filming might even be his son. He doesn't look hurt other than his face looks a little bit bruised up a little bit, but the rest of him, completely naked down there, seems pretty fine. Then the camera is shown going through Adam Green's house and hovering over him and his wife as they're sleeping. The monster reaches out a deformed hand, and how do you not... I'm sorry, maybe I'm just a really light sleeper. Maybe I have to be because I live in the Shadowland Forest, but still, how the hell do you not feel or hear that? Dude, if I shift in my sleep, I wake up. If I hear a little scratch or something in the next room, I wake up. I am a ridiculously light sleeper unless I'm drugged up. Like, I sleep so light, it's not even funny. I sleep so light that I have to always, even in the dead of winter, have a fan or something on to drown out the background noise, and that doesn't always work because I still hear anything that is not normal to my current environment of me sleeping in. It's like my brain is constantly on when it knows that things shouldn't be in the room with me, or certain sounds don't sound like the regular sounds that, you usually hear when you're sleeping. So how do you not hear this big body dragging on the floor, the front door busting open, this thing breathing in your face? Like, the presence alone would have woken me up. It's just unreal. Also, why did it scream? Like, what happened after that? Did it stay in the room with them and was like, hey, just thought I would let you know that I had your camera the entire time. Here's the camera back. Stay the fuck away from my house. To be fair, Adam Green was a bit disrespectful. He literally went down into the hole, shining lights in there, and they were just disrespectful even after Decker told them, hey guys, you don't want to go down there. But also it's Decker's fault because he should have been completely honest with them since he's the one that wanted them to film this whole thing in the first place. I mean, there's just so many mistakes made throughout this movie by the characters that made me want to slap my ears off my head. But despite all of that, it was a great movie. It was a great mockumentary. I liked it, and I would like to know more about these monsters. Humanoid monsters aren't my favorite, I gotta admit. I was hoping for a little bit more of something, like maybe Trevor Henderson style, which I know a lot of his stuff are humanoid too, but still. But it surely delivered in this strange new universe, because as Decker said, the monsters down there have marriages, they have whole lives down there. You know, it kind of reminds me of IRL Monsters, the Nickelodeon show. First time I saw that show, I was like, what in the world in this freaking universe is this freaking cartoon? It's clearly old as hell, but it's very interesting because it features a whole bunch of monsters that, come to think of this is probably where Monster Inc. ripped off their stuff from. Anyways, do you think that if you guys have watched this, that the Brella girl is innocent, or that she was the one who really killed that guy? Was that the dead college student, or the college student that she lured? I would understand in a society like this where there's no laws and these things literally live like animals, that you're gonna have a few people that turn out to be serial killers. It's probably where a lot of the serial killers in the other movies come from. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.